listening to the Daily Nugget, dnugget.com. It is Tech Thursday. It is also September 5th. We are here with the usual crew, Andy, Jenn, and Janelle. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
My name is Sam. Today we are talking about video games, one of my absolute favorite things.
And this is fantastic. And this also kind of ties into a previous conversation we've had, Sam, throughout the podcast life, where we talk about the importance of guys and their box of chords. True. This is why. You're about to see why, ladies, why the box of chords is important. Because at some point, every man dreams to do what this man has done.
It's true.
A dedicated gamer from Saudi Arabia who earned a Guinness World Record. Well, let me show you what he did. It must be seen to be believed. This is just impressive. I don't care who you are.
Game consoles. After a while, I noticed that I have a big stock of gaming consoles that I couldn't play. The TV ports are limited, and if I want to play, either I unplug the existing consoles or I will keep everything and add more switchers and, of course, more converters as well. By adding more switchers, the idea came to my mind. I will connect all the gaming consoles I have to the TV. Then I'll contact Guinness World Records as this project looks unique. Includes beautiful. Hundreds of video game consoles, all different than each other. So I can play home video game consoles, computers, plug and play, and so on.
Okay, Janelle, Jenn, your thoughts?
I think he might be friends with my brother.
Talk about a hoarder. Come on.
444 video game consoles. Now, I wonder how much he actually plays, because he's saying, I need to be able to plug in multiple. I don't think he plays them.
Some of those I do not recognize.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
How warm is it in that room?
Let's go back to the video.
It's gotta be warm.
One thing's for sure, this guy's single.
HDMI switcher, 16 in 1.
Let's see here. Does he have a ring
RCA switcher? If I want to select any gaming console, everything here in the Excel sheet.
He's got an Excel sheet. Nice. Look at that.
Oh, look at that monitor.
This is HDMI,
nice
B, C, D, and so on. This is the RCA. I have everything here. Okay?
Okay.
Once I turn on the 360, it will come directly. All the consoles the same. Everything. Xbox Series, even PlayStation 5. You can see here Nintendo Switch, the OLED model.
Of course.
The latest. Nintendo Wii U. Nintendo 64. I use a converter here.
Those don't work anymore.
Super Mario. It's good.
Love it.
Is he actually going to play something?
I have
that's like Commodore.
PlayStation.
Atari.
Here, PlayStation 1.
Are you not impressed, ladies?
Well, I mean, as far as video games go, it is pretty impressive.
I mean, look at this. Look at this controller tree right there. Look at that. Look at all those controllers.
I just have to ask why. You couldn't play, but one in each hand anyway. So why would you have to have so many?
Janelle, why do you have to have so much broccoli?
No, because those are two different things, Andy.
Imagine you're a thief and you break into this house.
I don't even know. It's almost too much. I don't know where you'd start.
Well, I mean, so that controller tree actually gives me a little bit of anxiety because it doesn't look very organized. I'm sure it is.
Right. I just don't know how else.
It's one conglomerate of controllers on a blob.
Maybe he knows how to do it with his feet.
What?
Where did that come from?
What?
Well, I mean, you only have two hands. How many controllers do you actually need?
Well,
what do you mean he plays with them with his feet?
So
he uses his feet, maybe.
We got one monitor, so you can only play one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's true too.
Okay, maybe Janelle's onto something where if you play one game with your hands and you play another game with your feet, then
we're two-player and you just play against yourself.
Well, that's true. You could. I remember when I was a kid, I read in the Nintendo Power magazine about a child that didn't have arms and played with his feet. So I tried to play with my feet a lot.
And did it work?
I had one of the joystick ones where you could it actually had a joystick, so it was easier to do. I didn't do but original Nintendo was about the only one you could actually do that with because it only had 2 buttons. That you could. So it was. I never got good at it, but it was something I tried multiple times. That was my childhood because I didn't have 444 video game consoles. I had one. So I had to make the most of the one.
All of that willpower, all of that brain power,
and
all of that, and did something else. It wasn't in front of a screen.
You could have collected
went outside
pillows.
What do you estimate that whole room is worth?
See, does he have
400 consoles?
444.
Some of those older ones are worth maybe 150 if they're in really good condition. So, and he had a couple of arcade machines in there, and those are around $300.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Jen, we've lost our
my name is
2 co-hosts. They're nerding out.
It's like your brother's back on the podcast.
You're gonna say I've seen these looks before.
So here's
lazing over.
Here's the guy who has the largest collection of video games in general.
Oh my word! Is this the same guy?
No, different guy. 200,000 of them.
I have a growing collection of Famicom games, which is the original Nintendo system that came out in Japan.
He ran out of shelves.
Here, wedged in the ceiling,
actually games.
I have over 1,000 PlayStation 1 games.
1,000 PlayStation 1 games. I didn't even know they had that many come out.
But now, you can't play them all.
No.
And it wraps on both sides.
Yeah, I don't understand what you do with that.
I have a complete PSP collection.
All about collection.
And then,
what did you say, Sam?
It's all about having the collection.
Right.
And also, this is what happens when you don't have a girlfriend.
Let's see here. Hold on. I'm going to look to see. We're going to look at his finger. Does he have a ring on the finger? Sam, this guy is married.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Dude is married. And you know how much all this costs.
I do.
How? What does he do?
I mean, he better be the one making all the money. Otherwise, his wife isn't super happy.
That ain't a happy life, happy wife sort of thing.
No, irritated wife.
And what do you get some kind of like a money award, a financial award with the being in the Guinness Book of World Records?
I mean, no, I think you actually pay them to come out.
Yeah, you need to pay them to come out and check your
verify.
Yeah.
The adjudicant, right? Because I looked up that. I want to do that sometime. I want to be an adjudicant or whatever they call them.
There's a real slippery slope when it comes to collectibles, huh? Like, there's a certain point where it's not enough to be a collection. And then there's a point where it's pretty cool. And then it becomes embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then it becomes hoarding.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't normally notice when you're just.
Well, hoarding is usually a collection of different things.
Well, sure.
So I'll give him that. That said, like, I'm with you guys. I'm with you ladies on this. Like, what do you do with all that?
Yeah, what do you do with
it? I've asked my husband that about baseball cards. He's not crazy about it. Mm-hmm. He has literally one footstool that's like has storage in it. It all fits in there. And there's some that are like they're worth like certain amounts of money, but he never intends to sell them. So I don't understand.
Right.
So why? Who cares if it's worth something if you're never going to sell it?
Yeah, I know a guy who actually has one of the rarest Pokemon cards in the world, but because it costs so much money to get it verified, he doesn't want to do it.
That's the thing,
and that's part of it too, is the cost of verification, because you need to send it into a specific place, and there's no guarantee that's going to come back as pristine as you sent it. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. And like, I guess he was approached by another guy who actually has all the other copies of that card, and he got offered money for it, and he didn't want to take it. He's like, "You're telling me that I have the last one of these, and you want it so you can have all of them?" No.
That's interesting. At some point, I think we all say, "Oh, we'll sell it someday." That's how I am with half the junk in my garage. And then I'll sell it. It's worth something.
I don't know if that's going to be worth much.
Just put it in your backyard, Andy.
There it is. The garage, the never-ending yard sale in the backyard. Well, that's the Nugget. NuggetHeyMail@gmail.com. Tell me about your odd collection. What is it? What do you do with it? NuggetHeyMail@gmail.com.
Thanks.